So it's about that time for us to jump inside of the live checkup right here on I-95.5. I'm JD, and of course on the phone line with me I've got Dr. Asante LeBlanc, who is the owner of Victoria Clinic, which is located on Gala Street in Woodbrook. And we're certainly having this conversation today, as we usually do. Every Tuesday we've been talking about different things. We came out of conversations for 2 weeks in terms of the vaccine, but we still have to discuss things pertaining to our health. That's what the live checkup is about. So today we're speaking about ways to strengthen your immune system. But before I dive into that, let me say good morning to you, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, and welcome again. Nice to have you here.
Morning, JD. Morning, everyone. It's so good to be there virtually.
Which it's the new norm, as they say. It is what it is. How are you doing, though?
I am good. I am working through the storm, and we're doing our best to support everyone, but I'm doing well.
I know. Every time, we speak over the weekend, I know you're crazy busy trying to take care of persons and keep us alive. So we thank you for that, along with you and all the essentials.
Everybody, not me alone.
Yeah, that's why I said all the essential workers. Yes. Not leaving anyone out at all. Would never do that. Anyway, so let's dive into today's conversation because, as you know, one of the things we always say, Doc, is that we have to debunk any of the myths that exist on the outside. That's one of the genesis for this conversation, as well as sharing info, whether it's the holistic way of learning to care for ourselves, which I know you thrive heavily on, but just also giving us the quick information and answering those questions. So if you do have questions, let me put that out to you now in maybe the first 15 minutes of our conversation. You can call right after that. It is 622-EYES. You know how it works. So, Doc, the immune system, I am hearing this terminology or this importance of us remembering the immune system, taking care of it. And sorry if I sound disjointed. At the same time, I'm seeing in my eyes persons fighting to keep persons alive on CNN at the same time. So this in India. So we're just surrounded by so much pertaining to our health right now. And none of us would like to sit there or be in those shoes. What is the immune system, first off, for those persons who just don't get the genesis of that?
So, JD, you and I actually had this conversation on our other platform. And so the immune system is our system of defense. It's our army against infection, right? It's our army of recognizing what is foreign to our body, right? So the immune system is made up of many elements, including from our bone marrow to our spleen, our thymus, which degenerates as we get older, right? It's involved with our blood, because from the bone marrow, our immune system components are in the blood as well. So the immune system is made up of many parts and a lot of proteins and enzymes and elements. The immune system, we have what we call acquired immunity and innate immunity. Our immune system even starts with our skin, JD, and our mucous membrane, right? Because it's all about protecting us as individuals and human beings. So the immune system is made up of so many components, and I remember telling you, and I'll tell you this again, your body has to be balanced and healthy for a healthy functioning immune system. You can't boost an immune system if your body is not healthy and balanced, right? So that's what I want to first debunk, the concept of somehow boosting your immune system, but you're deathly ill. You understand? So you can boost your immune response, and we can do that artificially by giving antibodies and immunoglobulins and stuff like that. But you cannot boost your immune system if your body itself is essentially not balanced and healthy.
So there's that word you speak about. And even though, I would have spoken on that on our previous platform, we've got new persons here. So we got to certainly remember to share all the information that we can to make sure everyone's on the same page. So they say sleep and immunity are closely tied. Can you speak to us about sleep? Because I have a lot of friends who say they're good with 4 hours, man. They're good with even 3 hours. Are they doing the right thing in terms of taking care of themselves when it comes to maintaining that good immune system?
No. So for you to have, remember, health is the balance of body, mind, and soul, and we will always remember that definition, right? So you have to have effective sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours of effective sleep, and that means proper sleep where you actually wake up feeling rested, where you actually had dreams, where your body went into that state of rest, right? You have to have a balanced diet, JD, and exercise integrated into your healthy regime of life, of your lifestyle. We have to look at what we put into our bodies more and more. You hear it, you see it. We look at your labels, look at the foods you eat local, eat natural, eat what is from our ancestry and what we're accustomed to and grew up on. Because, JD, things like sleep and poor stress coping mechanisms puts your body into a fight or flight response. And when your body is in a constant fight or flight response, you're actually using up your reserves. And therefore, your body becomes imbalanced and therefore will not respond effectively in some cases to when antigens or pathogens, I should say, come into your body, or you come into contact with foreign objects or bacteria, viruses, pathogens. And so it's amazing, JD, how something as 2 hours of sleep for a week can impact on your health. You find that that's when you get a cough, or you sniffle, or you feel real run down. You know what I mean? And that is what we're trying to say. You cannot run on overdraft and on empty for months and expect your immune system to be functioning. So you have to have healthy lifestyles, balanced lifestyles. And JD, I think it's important to remind everyone, we're never going to be perfect, but we have to always aim for perfection.
So well said. Well said. It's 10:38. I want to say thanks to our friends at Unicum Courts. We'll take a quick second and come back with our conversation. It's all about ways in which we can certainly take care of our immune system. And of course, we just focused on sleep. And if you're one of those that, certainly have a little problem with that, whether it's not getting sufficient or you just some people suffer from insomnia, but some persons just don't need any more and they're good to go. Think about that. You've got to take care of the body. You heard the doctor just explain that. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Let's just say thanks to these folks.
See clearly and choose Quartz Optical. We offer you free digital eye examinations by our highly qualified optometrists at our 14 locations nationwide. A wide range of designer eyewear for the entire family. 25% off when you bring us your prescription. Plus, we have affordable payment options for you with Quartz Ready Finance and our Forever 18 plan. We pride ourselves in providing you with the best eye care. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
So welcome back to it, the live checkup on I-95.5, courtesy those folks right there. Thank you so much to the Unicum Courts team for taking us through it. So Doc, as we continue to look at some of these very important elements that we need to work on or just a little bit to maintain that strong immune health, we spoke about sleep and also how closely it's tied to immunity in terms of bettering that. You touched on many of the things that I have in questions already, but let's just look at you. A lot of us are stressed out right now. Actually, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month as well.
Oh, God, so that means we have to tackle that next week.
So if we can jump into stress, and let's look at that, because I most recently didn't even realize how stressed out I was. And you see it showing itself in different ways. You may think, I'm good, I'm not, feeling anything, but you see it affecting different parts of your body. Can you speak to that and maybe talk about the signs that one would see and maybe need to do a little more investigation regarding stress?
But I think, JD, all of us use the word stress and we know what it is. So stress is when really and truly you are overwhelmed and you feel that there's a lot going on. And we all have stress. Our stresses are all relative depending on our individual state and time, but we all have stress. How can stress tell on your body, or what will you see? If your stress coping mechanisms are not effective, so how you deal with it calmly, breathing techniques, preparedness, trying to ensure that you are positive. If your stress coping mechanisms don't operate and are not optimal, then you can see things as simple as lack of sleep, insomnia, nightmares. You can see things such as rashes, anxiety with palpitations. You can see depression. You can see, a short fuse where you're just easily frustrated. You can see that like you're spinning top in mud, like you can't get nothing done, And JD, that impacts because your body is in a fight or flight mode. Your sympathetic nervous system is on the fire, and that will break down your body on the whole and therefore make your immune system weaker. and more susceptible to infections and not being able to deal with the infections. And JD, I think it's important to understand our immune system. Having an immune system and an effective immune system doesn't mean you don't get sick.
Right.
It determines how your body deals with the virus or bacteria or parasite that it confronts, right? So that when you come into contact with it, fever, for example, is a healthy immune response. You understand me, JD? Mm-hmm. So these are healthy immune responses. Inflammation is a healthy immune response if it's not in excess. And it's important to understand that. So having a healthy immune system doesn't mean you will not get sick. It means your severity of the illness will be decreased if your immune system is able to effectively deal with whatever pathogen. And also, JD, it's important to remember, the more and more that you confront the same pathogen, for example, the coronavirus, which we're talking about all the time, along with the vaccine, the protocols, then the more you confront that virus along with the vaccine in your system and the protocols established, your immune system gets memory. And remember, we spoke about immune memory.
Yeah.
And if you have that immune memory, then your body is prepared. The army is ready for that fight. You understand? It's not going to be surprised. So it gives a better fight back to that confrontation.
I've heard over the past few days different conversations with different persons in similar fields as yourself, or even some persons outside. In terms of, I was chatting with a friend in New York last night, and one of the things he was saying to me, because, we have doubters when it comes to, if you just touch on the vaccine just a little bit, we have doubters and those who say, I'm not doing it. So, we have that. We're not going to play blind to that. But, one of the things they always talk about is, I'm here, my friend Tony, he's in New York. He doesn't mind I call his name. He was saying, Jay, why don't I just build my immune system or just make sure my immune system is strong enough? But you just so clarified that does not mean that we won't get sick having a great immune system.
Exactly.
And I love, you will get sick. You just, it's sort of having great soldiers,
Exactly.
You've got
if you have them that they're prepared, then it's good. And Jetty, you talk about how do you build it. It's about how do you get healthier. How do you achieve that goal of optimum health?
Right.
How do we do it? And we speak about it day in, day out. Balance. Healthy
that word, balance.
Practices, diet, exercise, stress coping, effective sleep. JD, something as simple as speaking to a friend can help you with your stress coping. Letting it out and having that trust circle to be able to voice your frustration. I read something today where it says, sometimes I don't just need you to hear me. I need you or give me advice. I need you to just listen. Say nothing. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Part of it, yeah.
And that's important.
You just touched on something which leads into my next question. You've been doing that all the time. From the time you started our conversation, I was like, there she goes, going through my questions. All right, so food. Let's look at that because, again, for those of you that don't know, I always like to tell this story. When we started this particular program on YouTube, many of our viewers and followers would refer to Dr. Asante LeBlanc as Dr. Ginger. So I'm not saying Ginger solves everything, but they just knew her as the doc who spoke about ginger. And that's a part of your whole holistic part of educating us in terms of greater health. So when it comes to having effective, I hope I'm saying it correct, an effective immune system, because you say it's not built, it's already there. We just need to make sure it's good to go. What do you want to share with us pertaining to what we put into our mouth as, whether it's, those, because many of us will go back to the bush and many persons believe in that. But what are some of the things we need to include daily to maintain that?
Jenny, I like to say, remember our basics. And you've heard me say that so many times. Mm-hmm. If you look at Chinese medicine, which is very ancient, and you look at Ayurvedic medicine, and you look just at our African traditions, because I say our because you and I are of African heritage, right?
Right.
If you look at all our ancient traditions, and I want to explain this very clearly, that there is such a commonality. It's all common. It didn't matter your creed or race. They were all almost speaking the same language. Eat what is local. Eat what is you. Eat what is in season.
Yep.
You understand? Avoid preservatives, excessive preservatives. And let's admit it, we all were on this rat race and still are on a rat race.
Yeah.
And therefore, with a population explosion, the food production industry said, let's meet the population explosion and let's make money And so we were all happy with microwavable meals. We were all happy with something that was fast, easy, and rapid, you know? But JD, we have to come down off of that. We have to get off that Ferris wheel. We, as the population, have to say to the food production companies, treat us right, respect us, and don't kill us. We have to be the ones to say, let us make that shift. Let us demand the quality. We're the consumers, JD, and therefore we have to demand that. We have to demand local foods, not excessive pesticides, hormones. JD, there's no doubt that we have to use pesticides sometimes, but we have friendlier pesticides. There's no doubt you would love a chicken that grew in a week, but it's not healthy. So we have to find alternatives. We have to look at alternatives. We have to understand the foods that we should eat. That being said, JD, that's not going to happen in a day. And therefore, what we have to do is now make that shift. We have to start eating natural, dal, bone broth, warm foods, not a lot of cold, raw foods, eating brown rice, eating whole grains, you know, going back to basics, JD, warm foods, eating the fruits that are in season, whatever is coming in season, the citrus when it's in season, the watermelon, the mangoes when it's in season, looking at our heritage, you know. All of us like strawberries and blueberries, but that doesn't mean that's what we need to eat all the time. You understand? So we have to go back to basics. Remember our spices. There's a reason: fever grass, ginger, Spanish thyme, oregano, singing nettle. Remember them, and when they're growing near you, wild Karaili on its own, and Guyanese, so it's called Karaila. You know, remember those, the soursop. Look at why they're growing near you, and let us get back to basics and eat as local and as natural and wholesome as possible.
Before we go into the commercial break, one of the things I know you also say, which I was kind of waiting for you to say, is that we need to maintain portion control. Because, you know, some people love a good mango, beet, starch, whatever their favorite is.
But you can't eat a bucket.
You can't eat the whole bucket, right?
You have to eat one. You can't eat a bucket. And
so portion control, yes.
That's a whole different conversation. So, I mean, yes, JD, balance. And that's where balance comes in.
Yeah, there it is again.
Your portion control, your quality, your quantity. It's very important.
Let's take a pause for a second. This is the live checkup, and it's brought to you courtesy these folks.
See clearly and choose Quartz Optical. We offer you free digital eye examinations by our highly qualified optometrists at our 14 locations nationwide. A wide range of designer eyewear for the entire family. 25% off when you bring us your prescription. Plus, we have affordable payment options for you with Quartz Ready Finance and our Forever 18 plan. We pride ourselves in providing you with the best eye care. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Got to say thank you to them, Dr. Asante LeBlanc and I. This is the live checkup on 95.5 FM. We're debunking all the myths, making sure you have the information possible when it comes to maintaining great health. The spotlight today is about having that effective immune system. So we spoke about getting enough sleep. We talked about what you're putting into your mouth in terms of what you're eating. One of the things that we need to talk about before we dive into any questions that may exist from you, the listeners, Doc, exercise, and not excessive of it. I'm talking about spending 3-4 hours in the gym, but I think that's changed with the new restriction. Anyway, so let's speak about exercise and simple exercises that we can do daily for 15-20 minutes that can count.
I recommend 30 to 40 minutes.
30 to 40.
Right?
Woo.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know where you're going with 50.
I was aiming for 15. All right.
You need to be up to 30 by now. We've gone through this.
I am actually on 30, but I was trying to cater for those. I am on 30. Yes.
All right. So for those who now starting, we'll start at 15 to 20.
15 to 20.
Yes. Find an exercise you like. Find something you like so it doesn't seem to be a chore. From walking, jogging, swimming. You can do skipping, you can do yoga, you can do stretching, weightlifting. You can combine them. You understand?
Yes.
For example, JD, I do hip workouts, but then I do aerobic exercise and the weightlifting. And you change it up because, it's your lifestyle. And also, ladies, during your cycle, you all know that there are different dips in your energy levels during your cycle, and therefore different exercises are appropriate. So I think, it depends on your goals with exercise, but your minimum to keep healthy and optimum, if you're not really trying to lose a lot of weight, is at least 30 to 40 minutes, at least 3 to 4 times a week. of aerobic exercise to keep that heart pumping. And then ladies, I recommend small weight-bearing exercises to keep your bone health there. And yoga is very great, JD, for meditation, for calming, for balancing and centering the chi, as well as qigong and tai chi for stress coping.
All right, so there you have it. You know, time is always flying when we're getting all the information, not just having fun, but we're getting all the information. Guys, the number is 622-EYES. Call us right now if you have any quick, to-the-point questions for the doc. You know, we'll take them as soon as possible, but we're running closer and closer to the top of the hour. Again, thank you so much to our friends at Unicama Courts for taking us through 30 minutes here on Inside of the Live Checkup. All right, so Doc, we have some persons calling in. Shall we take some of the questions?
Sure, JD.
All
sure.
right, cool. Hello, good morning, you're live. Good morning, you're live. What's your question to the doctor? Quickly.
Morning, JD. Morning, Doc. JD, my question is, we have where I heard you said that things that we grew up on we should be having more of, but in a certain era, the things that the older folks grew up on, I think is what you are alluring to, because today, what some of us are growing up on is all this processed food. But I'm saying, where we have in medicine, doctors, should we be employing more nutritionists and dietitians in our health centers to give this advice that you are giving there? Because most of our bush medicine we don't know what the proper dosage is. And a lot of us will be taking this in conjunction with our traditional medicine. We take in a bush tea, a cup of this and a cup of that. So should we be employing more nutritionists and dietitians in our health centers to work alongside our physicians?
Listen off air, she'll answer the question. Doc.
I love that question. So he's correct. I was not speaking about the processed foods that we may have grown up on. I forgot the younger generation. So it's about, you see, because JD and I always talk about our grandparents.
Yes.
And so we grew up with our grandparents. So, I always take it for granted. So I agree, sir. It's the old folklore, the old foods we grew up on, the natural foods that we grew up on when we were younger. I do agree that we need more dietitians and nutritionists, but I would like them to have more balance. I would like them to also be more aware of our traditions and incorporate our cultural traditions and food traditions into our dietary guidelines.
Right.
In terms of what bush to take and so forth, that's where you need someone like me who is an integrative medical practitioner and a certified medical herbalist, because we would then be able to dose the traditional medicine properly along with your regular medication and bring it together. And that's why we always push for integrative and complementary approaches and holistic approaches to health versus an either-or situation.
All right. Love how you answer these questions. We've got another one. Hello, good morning. You're live. What's your question for the doc?
Good morning, JD.
Good morning, Mr. Pinal.
Doctor, I have been following some vegan doctors that have their YouTube videos and their books and so on, and it has worked tremendously well for me. What do you think about a vegan approach? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Doc.
Yes, that question, I knew it was going to hit me, JD. So everybody knows I'm an omnivore. Yeah? Well, JD knows I'm an omnivore.
Right.
So veganism, it really is not for everyone. It is something that is being pushed because it's saying maybe if we have plant-based diets, we will be healthier. There's no doubt that increasing plant-based aspects to your diet has proven to improve your health, especially in today's world. So, JD, I think you have to look at veganism and see what aspects are good for you and how the approaches work for you, because you have to listen to your body and you have to see and you have to understand that being a vegan, you have certain nutrients that you have to look at and make sure that those are
replaced
in your diet and not missing.
Right.
So it's very important that if you're following veganism, that you do good research and have a healthcare practitioner alongside to determine how you're going.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Pinal. Thank you, Doc. We have another caller. Hello, good morning. You're live. This is the live checkup.
Hi, JD.
Good morning. How are you doing? Are you there? I think she's gone. Hello?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think she's gone, but I'm seeing the line still open. One more time. Hello, good morning. Are you there? All right, so we're going to try another one. Sorry about that. Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, JD.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your question?
I'm a strong believer in food being our medicine, and I'm wondering why, in fact, the doctor said that utilizing the vaccine and food should work when in fact they have said that the vaccine is really meant to boost the immune system. So I would have thought that we would talk more about things we could use to boost our immune system, because I think that those things will work faster than the vaccine. What is your take on that?
All right. Doc, did you hear the question? I don't know if you did.
Yes, I heard the question. So yes, food is your medicine, but remember, what we have to look at is a complementary and holistic approach. So food being your medicine, it may not always work as fast alone, and that's why the vaccine is being recommended. It's not either or. It's not take the vaccine and eat junk. It's take the vaccine, your COVID protocols, and be healthy. Get to that balanced lifestyle and do what we have to do. So food is in fact your medicine, and it will always be your medicine, but it will not be your only medicine. And that is important to understand, JD, that there's some times when we do need intervention of allopathic medicine. We do need the intervention because science is there for a reason, and we should not always doubt science and, the conspiracy theories and doubting everything that's new and technology. But I'm not saying we should take it all, but I'm just saying let us have a balanced approach to it and listen to it. So again, I think food is your medicine, can be your medicine. Ginger is definitely one of mine, with saffron or turmeric as you call it. And, thyme and all of these things, and also my ground provisions, my dal, everything, my fruits. But I also got the vaccine, and I engage my COVID-19 protocols, because that is the only way to keep my body healthy in order for my immune system to function effectively.
All right, so I'm going to try for one more person because we've got 2 more minutes before the top of the hour. So here you go. You're live. What's your question to the doc?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
If one has a kidney problem, is it wise to use ginger?
All right, thank you for the question. Listen off here, please. Doc?
So it depends on the kidney problem. So it's difficult for me to say yes or no. Ginger is generally very effective in all states. So it really depends on what the kidney issue is and also other factors. So I would reserve my comment and my answer, because I would have to know what individual problem you have in terms of your kidney.
And
so you can always write us in and we will respond.
Yes. Well, and as the doc says, writing us in, simply sending that email to the live checkup tt@gmail.com. So we're getting ready for the news at the top of the hour, but we certainly got to say thank you so much to not only Unicum Courts for taking us through the past 30 minutes, but thank you to Dr. Asante LeBlanc for just dishing out the information pertaining to having an effective immune system. Any final words that you've got for us? And please, in those final words, share your communications. People saying I don't get the details of where you're at. So please share that in your final words, please.
JD, I think most importantly, this is the time, Trinidad and Tobago, for us to buckle down, come together, cooperate, be responsible. Let's stay home, stay safe. Unless you need to get out, come out. Please be respectful. Please understand that the COVID-19 protocols are very, very important. Know that this Brazilian variant strain is very, very transmissible, and we're seeing sicker patients. Please, let's come together. Let's stop the infighting and let's get this done. It's a very stressful time for us all. We need to come together and support one another through this time. And Victoria Clinic is located at 54 Dallas Street, Woodbrook, and our numbers are 622-2221, 622-0683, and you can find us on Facebook and IG as well.
Thank you very much, as always, Doc, for the information. God willing, next week, same time?
Same time, same place.
God willing. Take care. Thank you so much as well to the listeners for calling in.
And thank you, JD, and thank you, Courts Unicoma.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. So we're going to just jump into this, saying thanks to Courts, and then we go to the top of the hour for our news update.
See clearly and choose Courts Optical. We offer you free digital eye examinations by our highly qualified optometrists at our 14 locations nationwide. A wide range of designer eyewear for the entire family. 25% off when you bring us your prescription. Plus, we have affordable payment options for you with Courts Ready Finance and our Forever 18 plan. We pride ourselves in providing you with the best eye care. Courts Optical. Value you can see.